bro. Let's get into the game. Where it's like the star that's like drawn in a really weird way, and inside it's just you tried. Hilarious. All right, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna start things off with Clubhouse for the second time. I know, a bit of deja vu. Red Devils starting off the bans here on the defense. Now, Black Dragons have had a change on their squad, same for Red Devils. You'll see that as we head into the matchup. But which one will Devils remove first? Thatcher. Okay, cut. Please tell me he's gonna be in play. I really like seeing these, operators put into action ASAP. Second, Glass, or will it be a Heartbreacher? I'm expecting like a Habana removed here. Would make sense. It really depends just how Black Dragons are comfortable with this sort of attack. And Glass. Okay, there we go. This is the second option. So all Heartbreachers are available, unlike our previous catch.
Very different scenario, and even in the game in which two Heartbreachers were banned, it was still attacker-sided, which doesn't make any sense for a Clubhouse game, but hey. Yes, I see. He's showing me the picture now for anyone confused.
Yeah, it's Bret Hart. Yeah.
Well, there goes
Maestro.
Echo and Maestro.
Yep.
Leaving Mira available. It's a little outside the norm, considering it's usually Echo Mira, but
Yeah, I mean, we saw in the ban rate, it's 46% ban rate on Mira. Now, in our first two matches, Mira was banned.
Yep.
So that's going to add up to it. And as I mentioned before, the ban rate is calculated over every single series. Of course, every single best of one, whereas the pick rate is over every single round.
Yep.
So the more rounds that are played with certain operator, the more that they're going to be added on the board. Of course, have more selection percentage to them. But there you go. That is round number one. And we're going to start off downstairs with no Mira in the basement in church. Valkyrie being played here by Brow. And not surprising at all, Midi's actually running the client. So, not surprising.
well, downstairs defense. So Hibana left available, yet not being taken. You're preferring Moringa taking the Mav, and then GDN taking the Thermite.
I mean, Church take with Monty or Dirt Tunnel push with Monty. Right?
Possible.
It's an old school playstyle, right? With some flavor to it, having the Maverick and the Zofia to stun lock, but there's many options to play around this, and yeah, you can tell, see one of the extra bonuses that clings to the table with that TSG or TCSG 12. The wall on the side is not reinforced, so watch out. There's a buck on the Zofia. That has turned sour for a lot of teams, and they're going to reinforcement. Thank you very much, Midi. They're going to dual reinforce on this, I believe, and it makes so much more sense because it's just, please, actually, dual reinforcement on this wall makes much more sense than even the triple reinforcement because, hey, you're bringing one operator for the Heart Breach. You can actually use the third one to kind of fight against them, and we've seen it done so many times with Shotgun, Smoker, Mute, but it's going to be triple reinforcement. Obviously, bringing the Bandit and the Cloud, might as well use them.
Well, Moringa entering in through Strip Hall, and they're not going to be encountering any kind of, I guess, stringy roam game that we've been seeing for a while now on Clubhouse in the last game. Between FaZe and NIP, this time around everyone playing a little more standard, a little more reserved, a little more defensive. And again, shocking given the bans, but the scenario in which that it makes the most sense playing on Clubhouse, especially defending downstairs. And you've got Moringa trying to open up the hatch while being electrocuted by the Electro Claw.
Shocking.
It's a lot of damage taken onto the Legion playing inside of blue.
Oh man, Moringa. It's taken so long, so much to destroy this.
Doesn't seem like he's got it as down pat as the Mavericks we saw in game number one.
He's not going to be able to open up another hatch with this.
Nope.
Oh man, that's so much. 1.5 left. C4 being thrown out, and actually Hugzord is fairly low on HP now on the Monty. A hit has taken a bit of damage off Splash, but it's not a big problem. The Monty is really the thing that you need to deal with. There's a small hole that you can use here to fire into the side where a bro would be kind of sitting, or it would be the bandit, but everything's going to get preset and ready. Right now, it's definitely a huge advantage for the defense, but the attacking side, Ponico, find the kill. Hit will get taken out. Still, at least we're hoping that the Legion has done the work and just sitting back. What is the Pro doing there? They'll just walk right into it. Velvet trying to chuck the C4, and GDN just comes in and find another one, and now he's going to plant behind the black box. Midi will find one kill on a Panico. Diffuser is going to get set in just a couple seconds. PZD with one more, and it's only VNX alive. He'll spot one in the back with the armory, playing behind the green box, but the Monty comes in, will stop him dead in his tracks. He'll find one kill. PZD, as he peeks down the hallway. Moringa is ready, and VNX will go down. I don't think this round should have ever gone this way.
No, and I mean, we talk about hard breachers a lot on Clubhouse, simply because whether they're banned or available and how they're deployed really does dictate how a round should play out. This round, however, had nothing to do with hard breachers. It was a Montaigne on like 2 HP who just pushed in and was a human wall. And GDN, being an all-star on the Thermite, overruns Church. And at that point, Red Devils have no response whatsoever. It's tough to see like little to no reaction from Red Devils. As soon as they lost hit inside of blue, no one on Red Devils responded and tried to retake an angle, or at least pressure from the Church door into Arsenal. They just allowed Hugzord and GDN to push in, get the plant down. There was not a lot of resistance on that Church door. I also got a question where Hit was putting Legion mines. There was no Thatcher, so there's no way they just got dispersed from above errantly by a random EMP detonating above. And there's no Legion mine in any of that strip through Church hallway, through Moto, through Church door, inside site anywhere, default plant sites, nowhere. And all it would have taken was one Legion mine to down off Hugzord.
Yeah, and I really have to, I don't want to say it, but like take offense to the position of the Valkyrie. She just didn't care about the Monty. And like, yeah, maybe you're not the one that has to deal with him per se, but you know there's going to be somebody behind him. Like,
he's having a blast. VNX just...
This is the most fun I've ever had in this Rainbow Six Siege here.
He's doing a dance for us.
Come on, baby, tell me what's the word.
Oh my.
That's a great song, by the way. Korn?
Never heard that in my life.
What? Really? Word Up. It's a great song. We'll have a listen when we get back.
Okay.
That's not an obscure reference, okay? Korn is a pretty popular band. Don't sue me for that. Moringa will start opening things up here. And interesting that he opens the side, the center first and takes damage through it. Whereas just starting off on the side is fine. You just have to use your blowtorch on exactly the edge where he's doing now. It actually saves you quite a bit. You don't have to open the center. And he would have saved like around 30% of that charge. We saw that in game number 1 on Bank.
Well, he gets the hatch open a little bit quicker, but I don't think he has 2.5 tanks.
No, that's not enough.
It's 2 and a smidge left inside of that last tank, and what an aggressive peek from Velvet. That won't net anything but a corpse resting inside of Church. There goes Velvet and one of the key anchors inside of Church.
He's literally at half HP!
Yep. Has lost more than half of his health now to Electro Claws on hatches. That is not what you want from your Maverick.
No. Not at all. Oh! What a C4! The thing is, Hugzord is running the shield. The shield protects the shield user from splash damage of C4, not the player that's sitting behind him. So GDN is barely alive, and a reset will only put him up at 20 HP. Hit will come into the pre-fire, but Ponico is ready for him and just does not squeeze the trigger tightly enough. Falling behind. Hugzord just staying in place. The mobile drone, I guess. They have one spot as well in the armory. The Valkyrie... What are you doing? He'll find the kill, now stand right in front of him. VNX with one. PZD on the refrag. Midi, live in the back. He'll fire into the Monty. He'll eat the Damage, last alive, and PZD will take him out. Give me a second to breathe after this round, please.
That one there, again, aggression for Red Devils. Similarly to what we were seeing from NIP on their early defensive rounds that they were losing quite handily to FaZe. The problem is they also have the I'm not winning my gunfight syndrome, and it's costing them quite a lot in these defenses. First up was Velvet, then was Hit, and then it all kind of collapses.
Then it was a miss.
And yeah, it was just a lot of missed shots, and I don't like this from Red Devils. I get that it's probably easy for them to read into the same thing I'm reading into, which is your aggression and your failed gunfights seem to be the culprit. Change something up. Swap it up, guys. Don't run your heads into a wall for 3 rounds in a row. Try and expand a little. There are 3, I'd say 4, but a lot of people hate bar. There's 3 viable bomb sites for sure on this map. Try and mix it up a little bit. It looks like Black Dragons are going to keep bringing the same composition on every site. They're going to commit to the Monte no matter what. Try and mix things up a little bit. Change the angles. I don't think just a shift in mentality in this is going to work because you're not hitting your shots right now. And I don't think running this into the ground is going to be all that fruitful for them.
No. And yeah, we go back to that definition of insanity, right? Still, Hugzord playing the shield, he's been doing so much work. And actually, to expand a bit on your point, Rob, moving to Cash makes dealing with that Monty a bit easier. Because he's not 100% funneled through everything. The biggest position where he would be funneled up to would be the stairs, and the back stairs, and also the push in from garage. But in both ways, they're the operators to deal with that. Echo and Maestro are banned, but you can definitely really use and abuse the Legion. You can run the Dock, which actually has not been present at all. They're kind of relying and over-relying on the Valkyrie, whereas maybe having that MP5 would help them with a bit longer damage, or longer range damage, because I think they're playing down here. They want to exploit the Cloud to his maximum potential, but Black Dragons are just kind of bypassing it, even if the hatches that are being held are held for quite a bit of time.
Well, you can hear Moringa taking a little bit of damage, as is routine now, but he's able to maintain at least 90 HP, and I don't think, again, he was able to pop the hatch with enough in that 3rd tank to be able to completely destroy another hatch, but we'll have to wait and see. And I find it interesting as well that they're committing to the Maverick on Moringa to constantly open up the hatches when GDN isn't using the Thermite charge to open up Church Wall at all. They're not bringing the Thatcher because of the fan. But they're not doing anything with Church Wall, so why risk Moringa when you've already seen the aggression from Red Devils? Just use a Thermite charge and open up the hatch after you have part of it open and shoot the Electric Claw. Yeah,
but that's the thing. Shooting the Electric Claw is more difficult than it seems to be. There's just, you can put it on so many different angles where it's not impossible to destroy at times just because of the range that it has on it. So I can't really fault them for that. I can't fault them for the miss C4. Brow might have just wanted to keep it to deal with the Monty, but he's looking for actual damage. He looks through the hallway and actually maneuvers through it. The Maverick is spotted, but he's already done too much damage! Moringa given 2 free kills! Red Devils, oh man. It's really not helping here. Velvet on his own, and oh man, there's one player behind trying to fire in. Velvet will find 1 kill, but the pistol is up close, and the Monty turns away. The shield will protect him for just a bit more. Walks right into the Bandit, fights against him, and they trade off 1-1 on the floor. There's 2 left alive here, VNX and Hit. Moringa will walk on in, will fire. PZD will find 1 kill. Panico the last 2, 1 hit in Velvet. Black Dragons, 3rd round, attacking downstairs, and 3rd round they put on the board. Copy-paste every single round, and that's 3 for the attack so far. Not great.
Like I said, changing up your mentality wasn't going to fix the holes in the strategy. Red Devils don't take the aggressive peeks until they all peeked main hall at the end and walked straight into just an endless spray from Moringa at the AM4. It's difficult. It's very difficult if you're Red Devils to lose 3 consecutively on the defense. You've now guaranteed that the best case scenario is you run 3 in a row back. The next difficulty with that is, let's start out on CCTV Cash with this hypothetical thread. You win this. Okay, it's 3-1. Where do you go? Do you go back downstairs and try it for a 4th time?
No, you have to go for bedroom.
You go gym bedroom. That's a difficult site to win, especially when the Maverick's available. Okay, let's even give them the benefit of the doubt. They win gym bedroom. They still got to go back downstairs and win it somehow, just to draw it even in the half, or they're going to bar stock, an unproven site. You're pretty screwed here right now if you're Red Devils as far as your defensive capabilities. But we saw a very attacker-sided game just 45 minutes ago between NIP and FaZe. It isn't the end of the world here. You just need to bank on your attacks being absolutely killer if you're Red Devils.
Yeah, and Cash was actually played much more than we've seen here, at least so far.
Yeah.
There you go. Abra was setting up that position. If you didn't know, you can use that that hole to vault through it. When mirror windows were prevalent on this site, you would always see a mirror window either on the soft wall where you can vault over it. It's more of a crouch level, or center level with a half-open wall above it where you can vault over it. Or you can use it for C4, or you could have, back in the day at least, a mirror window on the right-hand side. It would expose you a lot of times to angles from the actual balcony, but it's kind of a risk to take because you're using it for plays later on. And what is this?
We just hear Moringa screaming over and over and over again. And I imagine he's up against a wall. He's up against some kind of electrified force, and it's probably VNX's Kaid Electro Claws. I mean, again, he's almost lost half his health in the process here, but they've done the take off the tops and bottoms of a reinforcement, and Panico will most likely buck open the remainder of the wooden barricade that holds up the exterior of that wall.
Yeah, people didn't know, like, if you Maverick the top and the bottom, it literally just makes the reinforcement disappear. So I think that's exactly what they're doing now.
DevilS taking a little bit of damage inside of the rafters. This is an immediate contention with Hugzord, and a little bit of support coming in from down below from Abreu. First Toxic Babe will be utilized, but it's choking out more of his teammate than anything. It's cutting off complete visibility. Hugzord staying full shielded as Moringa tries to lance in some fire from outside, but here comes the ADS from Hugzord as the distraction is enough from the Mav holes on the wall. And now Abreu is the smoke downstairs inside of Lounge. Either have to commit to a flank with Panico holding it, or retreat back up the cache stairs to give support to the rest of the site that is now being barraged by Black Dragons.
Notice one thing. Hugzord on the Monty has taken 0 damage. No goo mines were present at all. That's not great. When you know that you're going to play the dock, and with how prevalent the Monty has been in the past 3 rounds, you always put your first 2, even 3 goo mines spread along the catwalk before you run away. And that's what would be your focus, because as a Legion player, you always want to put your goo mines off the site and then closer and closer as the round progresses, because you're going to be playing closer to the site as it does. Midi will try to peek around for the Zolfias. He's already found 1, not expecting the second. And that's at least the second kill. VNX with the AUG A3 in hand. 10 seconds left on the clock. Red Devils actually have the opportunity to do this, but Panico will get 1 kill. They run into the clock. They take him out. Hit will get 1 kill off of things on the Moringa. Now he'll walk into the Monty, who spotted him, drop the hatch, and try to play around from the opposite end through the stairs. Damage done now with the goo mine onto the Monty, but a bit too late. Impact grenade launched, but will not connect. And the Buck is ready on the top. Even vault into him. The Monty now blocking line of sight and access. The Thermite turning around the wall. The Monty facing in as Panico will go down. No need to worry about the Thermite anymore. Impact grenade to the side, but GDN is a bit too far away. The Monty still, again, putting himself in a great position. The rotation hole. Hit will find 1 kill, but he's running out of time. He's going to try to come in and melee the Monty with a fully extended shield. Is just not going to give him any room to maneuver. And that should be the round. There you go. Time's up. Even if you got that kill, you got none left. Hit. Unfortunately, in a 1v3, got so close and yet so far, and the 4th in a row here for Red Devils' opponents, Black Dragons.
That's tough. That's a real tough scenario of Velvet getting a little distracted inside of the rafters as the dock, just allowing Hugzord to ADS him. I'm surprised as well that Abreu didn't peek after the ADS from the Monte. But, I mean, timing there, like I said, Panico was holding the entrance from in behind that toolbox right beside the ladder. It's a rough scenario, and dear Lord, Red Devils are going downstairs again. I think if you maintain rafters control a little bit longer there, or at least invest a little more utility into holding the rafters, make sure Hit is close by to keep dropping a sea of Legion mines on those rafter stairs, it's a different story. I don't like the return to the basement. I honestly thought the Red Devils setup was better upstairs. It just needs a little bit of tweaking to continue the stall-out factor. The Maverick is still going to get the wall. They're still going to buck it open, but they didn't have a lot of visibility until you started shifting to angles that weren't immediate priorities.
I'm trying to look here at BR6 to see the history between the two teams, and I mean, they've played, but it was a 0-0 at the end of it. It was inconclusive, and it was on the last patch, which is even, it was October 7th, which is even before the Rio finals. So we didn't even have mute, SMG11, etc. back then. So I don't think that the result is too important for us in context. Yeah, it's been a while, too long for it to be really relevant. That's just because BR6 season is the majority of a year.
Yep.
But it was 0-0, which meant that the two teams kind of tied on both maps. Whereas if you look at Pro League, it was a different story. You know, this play day number 1, Black Dragons completely walked all over Red Devils in a 7-1 in Oregon. So
seems to be trending that way again here on Clubhouse. Considering, I mean, yes, all the hard breaches are available, which is a scenario we don't often see on Clubhouse. But come on, you can't win a single defense.
It's all around Red Devils banning the Thatcher to run the COD. That's it.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much the extent of it.
I mean, it's going to have to again turn into Red Devils running it back all the way on these two defensive rounds just to salvage the first half, and then on attack absolutely turn into the monsters that Black Dragons currently are. And honestly, if you're Red Devils and you're playing those attacking rounds, which we haven't even gotten to yet, you still need to bank on Black Dragons making mistakes. Because that's how Red Devils have made it to this scenario they're in right now, is making mistakes. And Black Dragons are capitalizing, which is wonderful to see. Their capitalization on the mistakes, it's not massive mistakes, it's small mistakes, like this Nitro Cell really being hit or miss, and most of the time miss.
And it just keeps happening every single round. This is literally the past the first 3 rounds in a nutshell. That's it.
I mean, Hugzor's already in. Hasn't taken next to any damage. Moringa's got the hatches open. It looks like Velvet's going to try and challenge this up front once again. The good news is Hit hasn't died inside of blue yet, and VNX is coming in support. But as I say that, VNX will fall. GDN and Panico grab 2. That's a 3rd for GDN. And now stuck in the corner, Velvet nowhere to go. They all start falling. It's Midi alone in a 1v5 with the shotgun. He gets blistered by that M762 of PZD. And Black Dragons storming away with this. Red Devils looking like they have absolutely no hope.
I think your streak's going to be broken there, Rob.
Okay, but how absolutely fantastic would it be if it wasn't?
Actually, I'd like to see that.
Honestly, I'd love to see Red Devils come back and send this the distance. But we're 1 round away on Black Dragon's side from at least guaranteeing themselves a point.
I think it would take a miracle at this point. There's just...
It would. They're back downstairs.
Oh my god.
Oh no, and they've dropped Hit to 50 HP in prep phase. Do you think this is a little bit of a tilt factor? It's under 50 HP. That's not good. That's even worse than what I said. And Red Devils seem to be falling apart at the seams right now. This is kind of a mess. And it's very unfortunate, right? Because Red Devils have started off the season so well.
Yeah, they were in 4th place.
Yeah, heading in today, they're in the 4th.
This is not 4th place.
This is auto relegation place right now. And I hate to say that. I hate to be so negative.
But honestly,
But they don't really have much to be talked about in a positive light in this certain match. I'm sure there's Red Devils fans out there who are clamoring at the bit to yell at us and say, you know, what about this result? What about this result? I understand. what we need to do right now is focus on what's happening in front of us. And like I said, it really does look like it's Red Devils just coming apart at the seams. They cannot find any traction. They're running the same thing over and over again. There's zero adaptation.
And they're playing against the same exact thing that they have lost to for 5 rounds in a row.
Yeah,
and they've changed nothing.
It's the lack of adaptation, like you just said. The lack of change, the lack of adaptation, that is the most concerning. Because the best of the best teams in the world adapt. They non-stop adapt. No matter what is happening in front of them, they are reacting to what they are seeing. Red Devils seem to have this mentality right now of, we're going to run this thing into the ground, and eventually it'll work, or we're going to get 7-0'd. And right now it's trending towards the 7-0.
It's like, is the Cloud actually doing anything for you?
No, Moringa is like, yes, he's losing half his HP.
I think he enjoys it.
I think he's having a blast with it.
Yeah, some people, you know, are into different things. And, okay.
I mean, Velvet's tried that multiple times, and he has not hit that shot. And then he tried to wide peek the hatch in round 2 and also got obliterated. So I don't recommend the aggression. Hit losing a lot of HP has been that linchpin inside of blue round after round.
He hasn't been able to do anything from that position.
No.
There's always somebody walking in from oil pit and just dispatches him, and usually that's the buck.
Yeah, Panico has had a fun time repeating the same kill over and over again, which is I'm going to walk in to oil pit, I'm going to crouch walk down the hallway, and I'm going to shoot Hit in the head. And it's been the same thing on repeat for 4 out of the 5 rounds.
Don't.
He's doing it.
Don't.
Oh, this is new.
Ah. Okay.
Why is it the team that's winning 5-0 that's making adaptations? The team that losing it isn't.
We actually don't need to open another hatch, so
yeah,
let's just go somewhere else.
And they never use it.
Okay. Monty's going to take a couple ticks of damage. Remember, the damage ticks are now down to 4 HP instead of 8, but in this case, you know, you take a total of 18, now you take an extra 10 damage. You just go back and set yourself back up. Hit will actually connect. Panico will go down. A great start here, even with the player low on HP, but Moringa is ready. He'll find 2 kills. Walking in from the side, PZD now into the stairs. C4 thrown into the Monty, and it will not connect. Velvet, though, will find 1 kill to redeem himself. Midi taken away by GDN, and he'll go run directly to plant by Black Box as PZD dispatches Velvet. 6 rounds in a row. Black Dragons. Well done.
It looked kind of promising there for a second, and then it all fall apart in the matter of, I don't know, 2 seconds maybe? 3 kills in 2 seconds? Is that generous? Was it 1.5?
Yeah. Look.
They changed sides, at least.
Okay.
So I must stress this as well.
Always look on the bright side of life.
The only way this ends in a tie is if 12 attacking rounds on Clubhouse are won in the same game. I don't think that has ever happened in any Pro League scenario ever. So we're either making records out here, or Red Devils are going back to the drawing boards, taking 0 points out of this, and Black Dragons will separate themselves from the Pain and INTZ show at the bottom of the standings.
Yeah, I mean, with this victory, Black Dragons blast off to 11 points, which is actually the exact worst scenario for Pain and INTZ, who are sitting at 5 points apiece. The closest team to them will be 5 points away. What are you doing?
Camera activated.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's nice.
That's fine.
I've never actually seen that before. Oh, he's gonna spawn peek with it. Panico getting extremely aggressive, and he'll get detected and scurry on back and reinforce right behind him. That's interesting because I forgot that the dirt walls were one of those that don't have studs in them. So you can actually make yourself a vault hole with a deagle.
Yeah. And by studs, like the wooden...
The wooden studs that you need a shotgun to break open, yeah.
Yeah, for example, the bank wall and basement.
Yep.
The one that with the deagle used to be a strategy before, where you would take out the middle parts of it between those studs. So there you go. There's a lot of effort being put on the base and top floor from Black Dragons defending on here, and well, in their case, they're 6 rounds ahead. They can literally do whatever they want and just experiment.
Well, there's a couple things from the Red Devils lineup that I like so far, which is that they have a Ying on hit and they have a Zofia on VNX. There's no Jaeger. No ADSs to stop any of those projectiles coming in. You've also probably got, well, you probably might have had flashbangs on the Maverick, but now it's all falling to hell. Hugzord and PZD will both grab kills. Abreu will at least trade one back onto PZD, but you've lost your Maverick, you've lost your IQ. Abreu taking a little bit of damage. He enters in, and he's being shredded in from inside Lounge, and he'll vault over, still taking damage from the Legion Mine stuck in his leg. Throws out a flashbang in desperation to repel the initial entry in from Lounge, and now taking an aggressive angle. The Candelas come flying out from hit, and it's panic setting in for Red Devils.
The hatch was left soft. It was destroyed and eased their way down here. The defense of Black Dragons, only one Candela still available, so there's not going to be a lot of effect on the armory. You can't just chuck two and blind it out completely. You really need to know what you're doing. VNX peeks on, but can't find anything. Ringo will get one, though. Hit taken away. No more Candelas to be used. Abreu and VNX, the last two alive. The Thermite is so low on HP, just trying to find the leg there in the back. But oh, he will hit one. No, it doesn't even connect. He then gets taken out immediately down on the floor. VNX last alive. And the diffuser is so far away, even if he picks up his teammate. The walls are completely soft because the defense opted to play at the top, and Panico will get one as Moringo will finish off Abreu, and that's it. 7-0, our only one so far in this half. And I'm going to check, have we had a single 7-0 so far in LATAM? And I think we have not had... No. Well, technically we had Liquid Phase. Because, oh my god, those skins. But, no, we technically have not had a 7-0. This is the first 7-0 for LATAM ever. In this entire season, the only time was January 15th when Liquid played FaZe, and FaZe was having issues, and because of Mother Nature, it kind of prevented